What's going on, everyone? This is Starmac, and today I want to talk about my life as a biker and some of the things that I kind of thought about on my 2 years that I've been riding. And one of the things that I've been thinking about was some of the titles and status that we give each other. Things like noob and stuff like that. For me, when I first started, I didn't mind being called a newbie or whatever because it was true. I was new. I wasn't embarrassed about it, and I don't think anyone else should be embarrassed about it. It's normal. You have to start from somewhere. But my question is, at what point do you stop becoming a newbie and start going into other things like being a intermediate or professional or something like that? And the reason why I asked this question is because I've been riding for 2 years, but someone who's been riding for 2 weeks, they may see me as being an expert. However, someone who's been riding for 10 or 15 years may look at me as still a newbie. And because they have so many years in, they will consider themselves as being experienced. Now, I don't have a problem with that. I would agree that someone who's had their license for 10 or 15 years, they should be experienced. But why does it mean that just because you had your license for 10 years, why does that necessarily mean that you're experienced? The way that I would look at it is that anybody could have their license and anybody could have owned a bike for all those years. But my question would be, what were you doing all those years? Are you just going and riding your bike on the weekends, or are you actually riding your bike like every day or every other day? Are you putting real mileage on your bike? And also, what are those miles going to? Are you just going straight down a regular street where there's just stop signs, or are you actually going into places where there are challenging turns? Because from what I gather, you're going to need a mixture of all types of environments that will make you really good and experienced. So for example, biker number 1, who has 4 years of experience, he only rides on the weekend, and then Monday through Friday he doesn't even touch his bike. And let's just say biker number 2, who has 3 years experience, he rides Monday through Friday, but he only rides in the city or just regular streets where he just goes straight and he stops at stop signs and he just shifts gears, and that's about it. And let's just say bike number 3, who's been riding for 2 years, doesn't live in the city, but he lives in the mountains. So let's just say if you compare these 3 bikers together, who's going to be the one who is most experienced and who's going to be the one who is mostly skilled? And so what I'm saying is, time and mileage on your bike doesn't always amount to skill level and experience. And so that was something that I was just kind of thinking about, and I'm just wondering if all these names that we give each other, whether they even mean anything or not. If the word newbie, if that's even relevant or not, because it's probably not. And even some of these guys, and I'm not saying everybody, I know there are a whole lot of really experienced people out there who've been riding for years, and they have a lot of good information for people like me and for people who are just starting off. But what I'm just trying to say is, if you had your license or if you've owned a bike for years and years, that still doesn't always mean that you are a experienced rider. And I would argue that there are people out there who probably have been riding for maybe a fraction of the time that some of the so-called veterans out there have been riding, who are far more skilled than they are. So that's all I'm pretty much saying, and I'm just thinking about this because when I first started riding, I always thought about the prestiges and moving up to the next level and everything, and I stopped doing that. At this point, I really don't care. I just ride, and I'm always continuing to get better. But at the same time, I just don't worry about being a newbie or being a intermediate or being a pro. I mean, don't care. Because what really matters to me is the fact that I'm writing the way that I want to, and that I'm having fun doing it. And worrying about how good someone else is or how good I am, it's too much work, and it's just too stressful. So for all the new writers out there, don't feel like you need to be like everyone else. Be yourself, and don't be embarrassed about being new. Take your time. Don't give yourself a time period to get really good. Don't try to learn how to ride a bike too fast. Trust me, take your time. That's really important. And do your own thing. And, I'm not trying to say that every single experienced biker is like this, but some of these guys, especially on YouTube, all they're going to do is, when they talk about noobs or newbies, all they do is they're going to generalize, and they're going to call newbies stupid because they don't know what they're doing, so that means they're stupid. So first of all, just because you make a mistake or you do something stupid, that doesn't mean you're stupid. That only means that you did something stupid. Now, if you keep making the same mistake over and over and over again, then okay, I can't defend you on that one. So just make sure that if you do something stupid or you make a mistake, don't do it again. Learn from it and move on. So if you come across somebody's channel and they're generalizing or judging you, I would stay away from them, because they really don't have anything to teach you. All they're really doing is just trying to show you how good they are, and that they need to be first, and they're just the best bikers on the planet simply because they say so. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That's all I have right now, but I will be coming out with some videos soon, so you stay tuned. This is Star Mac. Thanks for watching.